1 week ago, the Mist and Albion Online got their biggest update in a really long time, essentially attempting to revitalize what is basically a dead content, basically restoring the PvP or the PvE viability of it and expanding the PvP player pool to include something a little bit more than just 8.3 and 8.4 Raven and Owl gankers. Thank goodness. Now, we were out there and we discovered that the Mists, they're not all that great for fame, gaining us only about 55,000 for an hour. So today, I'm taking my Grizzly Bear out to the open world Black Zone, and we're going to see if we can beat that in just one pie. Now, I'm out in Terrace, and our starting fame value is 24,133,298. So to beat the Mist, we only need to get more than 55,000. And this being a stone spot up to tier 7, I think it's really possible. Now, I do need to play as careful as I possibly can, because the one drawback, or well, there's a couple drawbacks to the bear. The first one is it's slow. This is not a fast mount. Its base speed is only 75% running speed, and it doesn't get a sprint. What it gets instead is a super boost if it gets hit by an attack, which is great when trying to escape from gankers. But the second reason I need to be extra careful is because it does not have passive carry weight. Instead, it has it as an active stat of max load, which is actually more than the boar. But that means if I do lose my mount, I will likely be over-encumbered and unable to run away. So we're playing this significantly more dangerous than we usually would. Now, I think if we want to beat that 55,000 from last session, my best bet may be going straight for the available treasures on the map, because they are going to have a very high quantity if untouched. Thankfully, being a T6 treasure, nobody wants this. So I'll be able to work this and the significant amount of resources surrounding this. But I do have to be careful because there is death happening at this southeast exit. Now, with confirmed hostiles in the zone, I am going to leave the one tick. I don't need that treasure disappearing just for all the gankers in the area to converge on my location. And that is a third death. Now, it is ouchie fighting out there, but since it's not my friends in the booty boppers, I can't realistically expect any sort of safety leeway. So I'm in just as much danger as I usually would be. Now I'm going to make a run for this ore treasure, but it is 6.1, so realistically, that's valuable, and I expect it to have been touched already. Now, the Grizzly Bear has a fair share of drawbacks when it comes to gathering. The ones I've mentioned earlier being the main ones. One big pro, or a couple big pros, is its immense tankiness. we have 323 armor and magical resistance, as well as crowd control resistance and a crazy amount of health. But it's also half the cost of the boar. I don't know about you guys, but I like saving money. That's really fun to do. Unfortunately, the ore thing was taken, but we could still work the surrounding nodes and leave that on the map so we're not harassed, basically. Somehow I was still hit by that. Fantastic. With a ore spot right here, there is the small chance of a verdant wisp. So cross your fingers and drum roll, please. Let's see if we get one. Oh, we do! And it's rare enchanted. So let's jump in here. This may very well be a blessing for the prophet. So fantastic. Now, unfortunately, it's the mist, so it suffers from the same debuffs as everything else. What I'm doing first is checking for valuable enchanteds before I go in on these flat tier 6. These mists close pretty quickly. We've already got the countdown, but I should have enough time to work the rest of the stone and the few T6 nodes I saw on the outside. For a rare enchanted mist, this was a big disappointment. Wasn't even tier 7. And with this last tree, I'm going to voluntarily exit the mist so that way we can get back into that open world area and just continue profiting off of it. This would have also been great if I remembered to buy fresh journals, which I didn't. So, once again, dummy canth. I was about to say, I am hoping that we could find some tier 7, and here's a whole golem. This is good because I am still working on max speccing my tier 7 gathering. So this will not just help our fame ranking, but this will help the spec as well. And thanks to my learning points, we are getting 5 times the fame towards that spec. Surprisingly, these ore nodes have been pretty plentiful as well. Usually you'll find 1, 2, 3 out of 5, but we've been finding a lot of 5 out of 5. There's still more fighting going on down at the southeast entrance. Luckily, I am going in the opposite direction. Not bad in terms of profit either. I mean, we're probably sitting at around maybe about 640,000 in less than 30 minutes. Again, with a sizable quantity of what we've gathered being stone. So pretty insignificant value until you get boondles of it, which, you know, we're getting a lot. Oh, nice. Full stack of T7 ore. That's good. That's good. It's funny that the stone has 1 out of 9 and the ore had a full 9 out of 9. It's not how it usually works out. Large treasure chest spawned, and it unlocks in 40 minutes. We should be able to avoid that. That is not the wood that I wanted to gather. This tiny little T1 wood. Get it out of here. Now, I'll give credit where credit's due. I'm not entirely sure who to give credit to. I want to say it was Habanis. So if you guys watch Habanis, you know, shout out to him. I'm pretty sure he was the one that turned me on to Grizzly Bear Gathering. I could be wrong, though. I really can't remember who I saw recently do it. But they were talking about how they can escape most gank groups with a Grizzly when they're out gathering. And, well, I like the sound of that, escaping gank groups. You know, that's what we're all about. So, I definitely wanted to give it a try myself. I haven't been put in the situation to really test it, but something he said was, like, that unless they, like, were abusing Grave Guards and Grail Seekers, the Grizzly could get away from a lot of stuff. I think the fact that it's one of those mounts that also doesn't get slowed down is a huge benefit. Something else I want to try is, so I know that dual swords are, quote-unquote, the meta, right? Everybody says, oh, use the dual sword with the last W and blah, 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 blah. Now, you'll never catch me actually using the dual sword. These overused metas just make me want to puke. Everybody running the exact same weapon in the exact same set. So bland for a game like Albion. But I did think about it, and while I love the double staff, or the double-bladed staff, it doesn't do a lot of damage. So I was thinking, what can help me run and still do a high amount of damage, while not necessarily being the uber meta? And I was considering one of the other swords, because it still benefits from that last W strat, but what other sword could put out more damage? Personally, I was thinking carving, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll need to keep an eye on that guy. Because again, if I get caught dismounted, I lose the mount and thus get over encumbered. One minute left on the pie. I'm going to linger around the exit until the pie expires, and then head back to Martlock Portal. Since it's the very, very corner over here, I will check out that T7 stone. Wow, completely untouched. I should have checked this sooner. So, I mean, I will pop another pie, and then we will head back to the Martlock portal. Honestly, that scared me. That scared me so bad. I don't know where that guy came from. He just spawned right on top of that. Wow. That made me jump. Oh, wow. 16 to 30 people in the zone, too. I really need to be careful here. Go ahead in the comments below if you saw that hype jump scare, because that's what that was. I'm going to be a brave little champ. I took the last one. It's going to disappear on the map, but we are going straight back to Martlock Portal. So I will see you guys when I get there. All right. And I made it back. Safe and sound, not a scratch on me. So you know what time it is. Let's go silver and fame, baby. So first, let's put away our tools. And in 30 minutes, we made 1.18 million. Guys, 1.18. That's 1,178,758 silver. One pie, 30 minutes. Basically 1.18, round that up. 1.2, right? Wow, not too bad. But you know what we're here for. We are here for fame. Now, the goal was to beat last run's missed fame income of 55-ish thousand. So our starting value was 24,133,298. And our ending was, let me put this into the calculator, 24,188,191. 54,893. And that's it. I don't know why I paused for dramatic effect there. 54,893. So just shy of it. We made 55-ish thousand in an hour in the mist, and we basically made the same amount in half an hour in the black zone. So if you are looking to spec up, especially your tier 6s, the black zone is the place to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below the stuff that I told you to comment about earlier in here. And if you want to see more content, check out this video, it's my most recent one, or check out the full playlist here to see my progress. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you guys next time.